Hey everyone, I'm Zazoro, and welcome to my first video review. With me today is my friend Ted Kendrick, one of the co-creators of the webcomic Legacies of the DC Anime Universe.
Yeah, thanks Zazaro. Nice to be on here and talk to you today.
Now, if you guys want to take a look at the webcomic yourself, just click on the link or in the description box.
Yeah, we've got issue 3 coming out in just a few weeks. It's less than a month away, so it's exciting.
For this review, we're going to be covering this fall's DC season premieres on the CW. It will be an overview on the strong and weak points between the 4 shows. Gotham won't be included since that one's on Fox, as well as not being connected to the others.
And I am not caught up on it. I've only watched a few random episodes. I need to get into Gotham.
As much as I like it, there have been some things I found a little off. For how there are some villains established while Bruce Wayne is still a kid.
Yeah, it's a funny alternate timeline that I'm just I haven't quite grasped. I don't quite understand what they're going for, but I love the production value I've seen of it. They do a really good job doing a Burton-esque kind of Gotham City.
Yeah, they're doing what the writers of Smallville did, bringing all the characters of the Batman mythos to the show, but no Batman around yet.
It's totally like Smallville because it's named Gotham.
Now, to start the review, we're gonna go with Flash, or in this case, Flashpoint.
What did you think? What was your takeaway from the episode?
Not bad. Very different than the Flashpoint Paradox movie I saw a couple years ago. It's actually because of that movie that got me more interested in the Flash, including first hearing about the Reverse Flash, as well as seeing Barry's backstory with his mom. Although one thing I say that the movie didn't show Reverse Flash killing Nora, it was just a random person.
Well, the movie is very faithful to the comic book series Flashpoint, written by Jeff Johns and drawn by Adam Kubert. But the main difference is, or not even a main difference, because the movie was really faithful. And I could be wrong. I feel like it was the ending left Barry allowing his mother to be killed by the Reverse Flash, but was it actually a random person? I forget that detail.
I remember seeing near the end where said random person is about to kill Nora as she prepares a birthday cake. I mean, it could be Reverse Flash in disguise.
That's fair. So it was a great book because that was never a part of Barry Allen's origin before. His mother's death was not a part of the character. That was something that was written into Barry Allen's character. That was a liberty that Jeff Johns took to make his past a bit more tragic. I guess every superhero has to have a dead parent or something. That's kind of inherent in their DNA. I don't know. But having the Reverse Flash kill the Flash's mother was a new plot point, and I really liked it. The series was amazing. The crossover was a lot of fun, and there was maybe 10 to 15 different miniseries associated with it that were really cool. There was a 3-issue series about Nightwing, Dick Grayson. It was called Deadman and the Flying Graysons because it was set in the Flashpoint world featuring Deadman and Nightwing's parents. But Nightwing has the Dr. Fate helmet, and it was just all sorts of crazy stuff that didn't make it into the anime feature or anything. And a lot of what was really cool about Flashpoint didn't actually make it into this Flashpoint episode. It was only similar to the fact that it had the same name, and it featured Barry Allen saving his mother. There were so many missing elements that were not in this episode that was in the original source material.
Agreed. But for this episode, I was expecting more of a darker world as it was in the original story. Granted, for the Arrowverse, there's no Wonder Woman, Aquaman, or Batman round, so they can't put in the Atlantean-Amazon War storyline or have the Thomas Wayne Batman. Although, they could try the Thomas Wayne aspect for the Green Arrow, just put in Oliver's father, Robert Queen.
I would have loved that too. If they had gone there, that would have satisfied that role. If you can't have Thomas Wayne Batman, that would have been a good substitute. I think that was a missed opportunity too.
Granted, thinking back, on Earth 2, there was a news report saying that Robert Queen has been revealed to be the Arrow. So that's out the window.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point.
But it was nice seeing a more It's a Wonderful Life vibe for Barry, no pun intended.
Mm-hmm. It was cool to see him actually get to live his life he was never the Flash. He got exactly what he wanted, and he realized that that the world was worse for it, But then going back in time and making it right was also kind of he definitely messed some stuff up. But by doing that, he also fixed a bunch of problems that were inherent in the show. One major one that I've always had a problem with was the fact that after Barry's father went to prison because it was assumed that he killed the mother, Barry Allen was adopted by the West family, and he was pretty much raised as a brother to Iris West. And that's something that always was kind of weird to me, that they would have a relationship even though they shared a house, probably shared a bathroom, I don't know, but being siblings for years, that always kind of was a little strange to me. But now after the Flashpoint, that's not a part of their relationship anymore. They were never siblings like that. They never fell in love like the way they did. I thought it was hilarious when Flash kept saying that he kept erasing their first kiss. And like in this episode, they finally get that first kiss again for like the third time that we've seen the first kiss happen. That was a pretty funny moment. But I was very happy to see them like reorganize their continuity and like kind of straighten things out that were a little weird and didn't work before. It was a good opportunity for that.
I don't know so far, but it seems that everything that's happened the past 2 seasons remains somewhat the same.
It seems like Barry at least has all of his memories. Like everything that we've seen through the show, he has the memories that have happened. More or less. I could be wrong.
We'll have to wait and see. Now, what did you think of the Kid Flash costume?
I loved it. It was classic. It's perfect. And Kid Flash has one of the best designed costumes in all of comics. Like, it's just sleek. It's, the mainly yellow with the red. It's very similar to Green Lantern, Hal Jordan's costume, and Ray Palmer's Atom original Silver Age costumes. There's like something very similar in all 3 of their characters' designs that just like really work in the simplicity. So I always like to see the original Kid Flash costumes. I think it's one of the best designed costumes in comic books.
For some time, there have been a lot of memes where they point out that Kid Flash's original costume is very similar to Reverse Flash's. That's why there's also pictures of the costume recolored to match New 52 style. Well,
I was glad to see the original. And in the Flash show, the Reverse Flash has this like kind of like green tinge to him, Like it's almost like a gradient in a suit. Like it starts off yellow and then kind of like goes darker on the edges of it.
Not to mention the black pants too.
Right. Yeah, I loved seeing Kid Flash and can't wait to see Wally become the Kid Flash in the current continuity. I'm sure it's going to happen the way he said it, being in a race car and getting struck by lightning, maybe with the same chemicals. Maybe it won't happen the same way, but we'll see.
I'm glad that's not the same origin for Wally to become Kid Flash, where he recreates the same accident that happened to Barry. It would seem that it's going to come from Dr. Alchemy.
He wasn't really in the first episode very much, besides like the scratched alchemy name on the wall or whatever. But just to jump to episode 2 for a second, I can't wait to see what they do with him, because I thought Tom Felton, as the guy who played Draco Malfoy, was such a great addition to the cast. Like I can't wait to see how his character develops, and I'm pretty certain that he's going to be revealed to be Alchemy. I'm like this sure.
Yeah, he could be Alchemy, though I heard he might become someone called Koval Blue or something.
He was in the 90s Flash show, which is just another Reverse Flash, but blue colored. I don't really know much about his origin, to be honest. I just know that he's like another bad speedster, and you gotta have one of those every season. In this one, we have Savitar. Or not Savitar, sorry, the rival. I thought he was going to be Savitar from early production picks, but he was actually Edward Class, was that his name? No, Ed Claris. That was it.
I looked him up. He's actually Jay Garrick's Reverse Flash.
Yeah, he actually looked just like Jay Garrick, but had weird purple eyes or something in his original appearances. So that was our evil speedster we had in this season. With the Reverse Flash, of course. He did make a few appearances in that first episode. But yeah, the rival. I think he's totally unbelievable in his motive. It's such a bad backstory, but he looks pretty cool.
Plus, from the looks of it, he seems more of a short-lived villain.
Even though he was in the first 2 episodes, though. They brought him back twice.
That's true.
Probably because that rubber suit he wore was too expensive to make. They had to use as much as they could.
I'm just glad so far that the main bad guy is another speedster.
And also, Alchemy is providing the next vehicle to give us like a freak of the week,
Yes, it feels similar to the Invasion arc from Young Justice, where the Reach were giving people some powers.
It's also got roots in classic DC books like Invasion. It was a miniseries from the early 90s where the Dominators, who are an alien species that the Legion of Superheroes fight, they come to Earth and activate people's metahuman genes. And the Dominators are actually, they've already been confirmed to be the villains in the Arrow, Flash, Supergirl, Legends crossover that they're going to do. So the Dominators are definitely going to have a presence, and possibly even the Legion of Superheroes.
I'm really excited for the big crossover coming out. I don't think there's ever been one between 4 shows before.
I think it's unheard of. This is like a new precedent in TV history. So it's exciting stuff. And Supergirl and Flash are going to have another crossover later that's a musical. Because they were both alumni from Glee. So that'll happen.
My guess is it'll either be a metahuman or some bad guy with a thing for music.
There was a guy in Brave and the Bold who, there was an episode like that. I think it was the music maestro or music master or something like that. That sounds like a super villain name.
Something like that. Voiced by Neil Patrick Harris, no less.
Yeah, that's right. Nice. Well, anything else to talk about The Flash?
I just hope for later seasons they reuse this formula of encountering metahumans based off a particular event and having the main bad guy be a speedster. I mean, season 1 was the Particle Accelerator along with Reverse Flash. Season 2 with the Breaches and Zoom.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, now it's people gaining powers from alchemy based off what happened in Flashpoint. But I'm hoping that that's not going to be repeating for however long this show will last.
They had to do that with Smallville too. You know, like it was kind of like the kryptonite is affecting the town and making all the young people weird. You know, so like. It's an easy way to write in new characters when you have something like that.
Good point. Another note to add is that no matter what changes occur, Barry and Iris will always have this strong bond, whether it's in the future, alternate Earth, or in this case, alternate timeline.
In the comics, it was always described, at least like Wally West's version of the Flash with Linda Park, always described her as his lightning rod. So no matter if he goes in like the far future or like prehistoric times or parallel universes, he can always come back home because he can sense her. And she's kind of like a beacon, you know? So like he can always find his way back home. And I think that Iris is going to operate in that same way for Barry in the show.
At least in this version of Flashpoint, they didn't have Barry to be a complete mama's boy. I mean, in the movie version, he seemed more of a lonely mama's boy where Iris was with some other guy. Barry just doesn't seem to have anyone else around.
Of course, like he's gonna soak up that new time that he's had with his mother. Like he wasn't able to have a relationship like that.
True. Well, that's all the time we have for now. Tune in later this week and next week for more coverage on Arrow, Supergirl, and Legends. Plus, if you guys want me to review on anything DC related or otherwise, just put your ideas in the comment section and I'll take a look at it. See ya!